Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another commentary track. So we're finally back on track. See what I did? No, that was unintentional. Um, so we're finally back to releasing these on their intended release date, and so yeah, it's, god damn, it's crazy, but anyway, so yeah, we're here with the City That Never Sleeps DLC. This was also another one of these. This was another video that had quite a journey, just kind of going through it.
How's it going, everyone? And welcome back.
But
We're reviewing DLC now. What's going on?
so
When I was writing the script for
it's
Spider-Man,
funny, like just taking it back to let's actually take it back to when the Green Lantern video came out because
also I felt it was best
so
to get this out of the way now since there's no real reason
so the plan was to have the movie.
So as far as I remember, this
So the Green Lantern video came out in April. The next month, I was planning on doing Spider-Man 2, and then also in the month after that, June, I guess. My whole plan was to have these review, like after Deadpool took way longer than I wanted to. The whole idea was like, okay, let's do one review let's do one review a month, or at least try to get back to that. And obviously, because I took an extended vacation, or not that much of a vacation, but it was a period of time between Green Lantern and the city and the Iron Man revisit. I was like, okay, let's just say fuck it, and just try and get back to doing these videos in a timely manner, and just try and get something done, just to kind of have it for the occasion and whatnot. And so the Spider-Man 2 movie review came out at the beginning of August, and I'm like, okay, let's start work on the City That Never Sleeps. Let's get at least another, let's do another game review, a superhero game review, just by like the end of the year. And as mentioned, so when I was working on the original Spider-Man PS4 review, I was just like, okay, there's a whole main game to kind of look at and whatnot. And I was like, originally, The City That Never Sleeps was going to be in that original review. Just kind of, I was trying to condense it down. And then I realized as I was writing it, I was like, I have more thoughts on this than I was hoping to have. Like, there was some stuff that I wanted to talk about with this particularly, because there's a lot to kind of dive into. So I was like, okay, let's just make this a dedicated video. And I felt I didn't need to make it like a huge gap of time, or at least that's what I was hoping to avoid. So let's see. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll just put it in my list of stuff to do, like, sooner rather than later, and, vice versa, whatnot. So,
Otherwise, there's not much to go over, so let's move on.
and it was, so that was back in 2022. I did the Green Lantern video. Oh, this is my favorite joke, by the way. This is my favorite gang in the whole video. I love it. Just this Toby freak out gets me every time.
the other stuff.
Jesus Christ. I love it so much. So after the Green Lantern video came out, I was working on. I think I started working on like I started working on Spider-Man 2, or at least I had an idea of working on Spider-Man 2. But I also wanted to work on this
Anyway, these sections are going to be
at the
short,
same
so
time, or at least
we'll
try
talk
to.
about the side
So
stories.
it's funny because
But damn it, we're gonna give them
I actually
all kind of a
recorded
shot.
like over the time that I was gone, I was recording the City That Never Sleeps in between. So I was just like
You get to meet a new character.
in between I was taking like I was recording
So the twist at the end is worth getting a
like I was recording
Next we have
the recording the game, just going through it piece by piece, like I did
story to announce her new show, and think of these as task
I did I did the first chapter and all of its, side missions and stuff. Not too long after that, I think it was like maybe a month later, I did Turf Wars, which, ooh, it felt
There's an EMP one where
like a pain in the ass, but.
very similar to the Electro boss fight. The best one by far.
And then for the last one, the Silver Lining, I think I recorded that
It's actually these that taught me using certain gadgets.
right after,
Say because it's from Screwball.
or
Crimes added to
I think it was
the
right
but the only one I
before
played involved the spider drone just
the Iron Man video. Or
There are some suits
it
to
felt
look
like it.
also in this selection.
See, I was just between that spread of time was just
I'll
like,
get into it. Have any new suit powers to
record the
mention?
games
I'm okay with
and then like
I
write
love
my
the
notes
start
for
of
the
Fight
script and
2000,
stuff.
and I think I'm one of the only people on this planet that actually likes the resilient suit. Spider UK, I don't like this at all.
I'm trying to remember how the script writing process went. It felt like
the new enemy type, which is the minigunner.
I can't remember if it was before, like while I was recording, or like, or if it was like while I was working on the video itself. I'm pretty sure it was while I was working on it. But
what we got here is good. The story was enjoyable, and the things to do in New York serve its purpose.
so the whole idea is that it's like, okay, so I started working on it, and my whole plan for this was that it was essentially going to be 3 micro videos, just kind of made into one. So have a dedicated segment for each DLC story and whatnot, its side content, and that's where the idea of the kind of transitions came up. For these ones, which I wanted to use at some point or another, which I wanted to use in the video. That was one of the things I was planning on doing, and so
He's cornered in this old Harlem building with Spidey, Yuri, and a squad of cops raiding the place. Let's just say it goes for the worst with
so
the entire task
I was
force
trying to think of
actually
also
really
like just kind of a behind the scenes thing. I was trying to think of a transitioning music, and the only thing that came to my head was the
Next, the cops try to move the Sable Tech he's been taking around the
that
city.
little jingle from Miles Morales, because I had that sound file just in my phone as like a text notification. I used to have it, but I just had it in my phone. I'm like, well, maybe that could be used for the transition. And I gotta say, I like it. Like, I like how that turned out.
Soon enough, Captain
Yeah, if only playing this wasn't so draining. At least like this part of the DLC felt draining to me, but yeah. See, I started working on this in August, and I want to say I got it. Oh wait, now I remember. I wrote the script after the Spider-Man 2 video. I started writing the script, and then I started working on it like in the middle of August, and I got this done. By the end of August and like the beginning of September. Because I think initially I wanted to put this out on my birthday, but I decided against it for whatever reason.
This story DLC isn't bad, but it isn't great either, and I would have liked to see more come out of this.
I can't remember why. It's just I just didn't do it.
So for side missions, we have hammerhead fronts and more screwballs.
Oh wait, now I remember why.
Fronts are basically
Because I wanted something for like the end of September just to kind of wait out the next video that I was working on, which was Dead Space,
As for Screwball, we have combat gadgets and the new challenge this time,
which we'll get to that here sometime.
It takes the approach of do whatever you want and neuters it by.
So yeah, the whole thing was just kind of like it was a very weird,
started on trying to go after 3-star ranks.
very weird like story kind of happenstance. This review is like one of the most kind of all over the place. I think this and like The Last of Us is a story for a time. This one was definitely a weird one though, because it's just like I wanted to get it done as soon as heavenly possible after Green Lantern, and then all that stuff happened, and then I started making reviews again with Iron Man and Spider-Man 2, and it's just like, okay, let's just get this fucking game done. And have it sort of like within the vicinity of Marvel Spider-Man 2 coming out, because yeah, that was like one of the big October games that was on the way. And it's this fucking joke. I wish I could have done that joke a little bit better. I used a screenshot or an image from Google. I wish I just recorded it with photo mode. But I just, gold arms. I love it. You gotta have it, so. In my head, anyway. Okay, so. Let's see.
First of which is the narrative, which I said felt empty, but they don't give me a reason to give a shit about anything besides Yuri.
What was I gonna talk about? Yeah, so yeah, Spider-Man 2 was coming out in October. And it's like, I wanted to have something just kind of within the vicinity to kind of like have something close enough to when that was coming out, and so I was just like, well, let's get into it, I guess.
Hammerhead and him also being resurrected.
Oh my god,
That joke kills me. There's some gags in here which I was really proud of. The Mary Jane one was me trying something a little bit with the editing. Like that fade in with Mary Jane's face was something that I didn't think about doing before, and I thought it was going to be a little more complicated, but that was fun to do. And then also the forest fire clip was another great one. That Invincible clip was one of the ones that was just one of my go-to jokes that what I was gonna write in anyway. And
made him a joke in his own story and then ruined him to the point of no return.
Oh, what else?
This is such an insult.
There's more.
I genuinely hope for the sequels we never see this abomination again.
But yeah, I was just like, well, let's put it out for this video. Let's put it out at the end of September, and just kind of have it close in the vicinity of Spider-Man 2. And but yeah, I remember I got this video done the beginning of. I love this too.
Soon enough, we saved Sable.
That one wasn't. Well, that one was just. I put that in just for one of my friends. We always, whenever we call each other or whatever, we're ending a conversation, we always do the bye, Felicia. But
finally closing this chapter and ending the saga of the city that never sleeps. As far as the plot is,
see, I got this done at the end of September, and then the whole deal was just trying to kind of, at least because I didn't want to have it too close to when I was putting the next video out. So I was just like, okay, let's put it out at the end of September, and just kind of get that whole thing squared away and whatnot. So Also, another thing too, which I kind of elaborated on in the beginning. Um, I used the original PS4 version, and I know some people are watching that's probably being like, why didn't you use the remastered version for this? I think part of it is just because when it comes to reviewing games, I always want to try and be authentic to how it originally was as possible. So,
First, we'll go over the
in some cases, I might do like
I do like that they all take place in
um
subways and areas.
I might have
Yeah, it's
a
just the same
sort
process
of
beating people up, so we'll leave it
a
at that.
sort of like a
As for Screwball, we have
I might for if there's a remaster, I might include it in the video, which I've done on several occasions. Spider-Man was one of them where it was just like, well, let's have a video talking about the remaster in some form or fashion, and
Good lord, what a the fact to hear photobomb one
so I was just like, okay, let's try something with these.
Side stuff is these crime scene recordings, which can be a bitch to find at times, but just like the paintings, the ending is well worth it. The crime where you help the dude.
What was I
who's
talking?
is
Oh,
fine, but the weakest
so for
part
this
is
one, I thought about doing the remastered version, and I'm like, well, since the original video was already on the PlayStation 4 version, it feels fitting to just kind of play this game how it was originally intended on the PlayStation 4, and
I would have liked something more unique.
so yeah, I was just kind of like, okay, yeah, let's just do it that way. It's easier, and you know, less of a hassle for me to dig the PlayStation 5 out of my other room. Because I already have the PS4 here in my studio room, so let's just do that.
I guess it didn't matter anyway, since the Raimi suit came out right before this, so everyone just.
Oh god, the Raimi suit, that whole controversy. Oh fuck, that's just all kinds of memories flooding back into my head. Oh boy. See, I just played the original, and it felt more fitting that way with the original Spider-Man review. And by the time we get around to revisiting Spider-Man Remastered, I'm just gonna it'll basically be two reviews in one, because I'm going to talk about not only Spider-Man, like the main Spider-Man game, but also just elaborate on the City That Never Sleeps stuff and just do a quick look at for that. So stay tuned for whenever we get to our Spider-Man Remastered, Revisited, whatever. Yeah. Oh man, crazy, dude.
I would say this is worth the investment. If you want a little more.
But yeah, I remember this video coming out in September, and I want to say it did pretty well in terms of views. I don't think it was as it wasn't as big as like it wasn't as big as the original Spider-Man PS4 review.
And at its worst, it's mildly entertaining. Most of the time.
But it did better than the Spider-Man 2 movie review, just by virtue of not starting off at like 25. It was almost 100, and it hasn't broken the 100 mark yet, but you get what you get with certain videos. I know if Alter was here, he'd be like, well, you just don't pay attention to the algorithm. And I say, fuck the algorithm, because it's a convoluted piece of shit that always changes, and you're never going to get it right. So I just do it with, I just play whatever. Who cares? But yeah, this one, it was, I remember playing through these, and I'm like, well, it's kind of nice coming. Oh jeez. But yeah, I remember playing through these, and I'm just like, it was kind of nice coming back to it, and also just closing out that whole, original Spider-Man PS4 game, talking about everything I wanted to talk about, and yeah. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about the big end hanger. Swifty. So this was all. So this part right here, this was always something that was going to be in the video regardless, because I took so long with having because he showed up in Journey, and I'm like, well, it'd be funny if he made cameos just kind of in other videos I was working on, and it would eventually lead to the Last of Us video coming out. So I'm like, okay, so I had him in Journey, and I just wrote a small segment for him and in the Spider-Man video, and so I was not expecting him to go all crazy there. He was just kind of like the TikTok brain rot just got to him. It was so funny in contrast because in the first one, he's so natural and whatnot, and then in this it's just like he just snorted a whole kilo of crack and cocaine before he decided to turn the camera on. And so yeah, so originally I was going to do The Last of Us for Halloween, and I'm like, well actually no, because this video, the video that I was going to be like, Splatterhouse was always on the card for Halloween. I don't know if I was actually going to do it, and since I got the City That Never Sleeps video done at the beginning of September, I was just like, okay, let's just do Splatterhouse and have it be a fun sort of deal. And I didn't tell Swifty though. I told him like, oh yeah, Last of Us is going to be the next one, and then I had that kind of end credit stinger just kind of like just there, and I don't think he was happy about it, but also at the same time he's always looking forward to what I'm working on next. So, but yeah, everyone, that is going to be it for the City That Never Sleeps commentary, and we'll be back. We'll be back next time for Halloween, and after that Christmas, to talk about the next few videos on the docket. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Christ. But anyway, have a great night. Thank you all so much for watching, and take care of yourselves. See ya.